City on water, Venus of the North, Pearl of Scandinavia. Have you ever heard of all those names? Well, there's a Swedish proverb that goes, "A beloved child has many names," and perhaps that is exactly the case for Stockholm, since it is impossible to describe it with only one word. That's why this city deserves a plentiful of nicknames. Heading to Stockholm with us and go through it all.
As the capital of Sweden, Stockholm is the most populous city among Nordic countries. About 22% of Sweden's total population is located around Stockholm metropolitan area. Founded in the 13th century, Stockholm has evolved from a small trading hub into a city where its 14 islands and land are now connected by 57 bridges. Those water tracks constitute over 30% of the city surface. Another 30% of Stockholm is covered by parks and green areas. Moreover, its citizens are environmentally conscious, and most of public places ban smoking. Therefore, Stockholm is one of the cleanest cities in Europe, where only 40% of its urban area consists of a few skyscrapers and many historical landmarks. Diverse buildings of Stockholm still tell their stories about long-lasting multicultural city, what turned into a unique Swedish style. So let us take a brief look into Stockholm's architectural history. Stockholm was first mentioned as the capital of Sweden in the beginning of 15th century, but its oldest part, Gamla stan, which literally means the old town, existed for over 200 years before that. Moreover, Stockholm was a major Hansa port. During that period, North German architectural style grew in the central part of the city. Preserved historical buildings are mostly of sacral and royal character, since they were made of durable materials, and a fortress built during Danish wars in the 14th century protected them. Later, during Vasa dynasty, Stockholm developed to the rank of other major European capitals. In the early 15th century, the city expanded outside its earliest borders. However, some pre-industrial buildings as well as medieval street layout can still be found in Södermalm. Progressively, during the next centuries, many European and Northern American architects were recruited to innovate the city, which led to Stockholm's vivid industrial growth in the 19th century. It was followed by a nationalistic push introducing an architectural Jugend style. 20th century modernism in Stockholm was characterized by social and industrial development, which was crowned by the opening of Stockholm Metro in the 1950s. Those aesthetics dominated in the city for some more decades, until mass-produced block of flats and utilized public buildings received a large amount of criticism, which by the end of the 20th century led to a creation of an official Board of Beauty in order to protect and preserve the beauty of the city, as well as to develop an innovative and sustainable style where buildings are made of energy efficient and eco-friendly materials.
This spiral-style building is an official residence of the royal family. It is one of the largest palaces in Europe with over 600 rooms. It also houses 3 museums. You are able to watch the changing of the guard ceremony every day here during the summer months.
Built next to the royal castle in 1279, this medieval cathedral is home to a number of historical artworks like the sculpture of St. George and the Dragon from 1489. In the past, Stockholm Cathedral was mainly used for coronations. However, in 2010, the royal wedding of Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel took place there.
It was built as a German merchant guild during his period, yet later transformed for the need of sexual functions. It is a medieval monastery church with serving burial of Swedish monarchs from 17th until the second half of 20th century. It is considered to be the oldest building of Stockholm. However, it was rebuilt in a burial style after a great fire in 1697.
Being one of the most recognizable in the city, it was built during Swedish National Romanticism. It is made of 8 million red bricks, and if you take a number of 365 steps, you can reach the 106-meter-tall square bell tower, with a spire of Sweden's national emblem. Climbing up to the top, you'll see views that worth your physical effort. Moreover, the City Hall hosts the annual Nobel Prize banquet. Stockholm indeed reveres its tradition a lot. However, historical buildings do not make the city remain old forever, since people are the ones who make it alive. Walking down Drottninggatan, Queen Street, are prosperous pedestrian streets. Small shops selling handicrafts and souvenirs are packed with tourists. Or when reaching Stortorget, a public square in Gamla Stan lined with restaurants, which is one of the most lively places for leisure and entertainment. Besides revitalizing, the field of Stockholm being a gambling metropolis is greatly reflected by many modernist buildings made of steel and glass, with focuses on an innovative and sustainable style, as well as its great dedication to green living. It was built by the local architect Gunnar Asplund, who was active during the early 20th century. The public library, opened in 1928, is considered to be one of his two masterpieces. Located near the central station, it was built with the shape of a wanter and a ceiling height of 23 meters. Even from very far away, you'll be shocked by its geometrical design. On top of this, ancient Egyptian totem decorations are found on its surface. The simplicity in design and geometrical aesthetics marks an early movement of Swedish architecture from neoclassicalism to modernism. The Ericsson Globe or Globen is the biggest spherical building in the world. It seems like a big golf ball among residential areas, but this modern construction gives Stockholm a special place for many outstanding cultural events since 1989. Besides arenas, it is also home to a diverse mix of shops, restaurants, and bars. It also symbolizes the sun in the Swedish solar system, the largest solar system scale model in the world. It raised much attention when it opened in 2010. The building complex combines a congress and concert section, an office building, and a 400-room hotel with movable interiors. The architect used stainless steel as the major material, which is inherently sustainable owing to its maintenance-free longevity. Also, it needs no coating, and it is fully recyclable. It even provides a wide range of design alternatives. With an aesthetically pleasing appearance, the building is praised as green and revolutionary in its energy efficiency. With one of the most innovative designs, this conference center and lecture hall at Karolinska Institute hosts a number of public events, like the Nobel Lectures, that attract audience from all around the world. The building is also regarded as energy efficient. For example, the facade of the building is comprised of triangular elements that form an airtight energy-linked facade, which can also beautifully reflect some of the rustic buildings nearby. Looking at these few notable landmarks, which represent Stockholm's unique colors in different aspects like religion and cultural development as time goes by. Old and new mixes well there, and you will definitely be amazed by its stunning past and present.
To understand Stockholm food culture, we must start from breakfast. Stockholm people have their breakfast in their home or restaurants before work or school. The taste of breakfast is generally mild. Egg, bread, juice, and vegetables, or a hot cake, coffee, dairy products, and cereals are often found on a Stockholm breakfast table. But apart from this, there's still some special food. The traditional Swedish breakfast is delicious, easy to make, and relatively cheap. The most common Swedish breakfast can be made at home, and it is open sandwich. Open sandwich consists of bread, margarine or butter, and a slice of cheese. According to several sources, open sandwich was first delivered by farmers. They would pack numerous leftovers from dinner the night beforehand and place them on a plate, a slice of bread. This place would allow them to eat the equivalent of several meals in one sitting, important for a laboring farmer trying to keep their energy high. The plate would then be discarded afterwards. Over time, due to the discovery of the flavor juices soaking into the bread, the plate began to be eaten as well. You can spice up your open sandwich with a variety of traditional toppings. If you want to eat yummy open sandwich, you can go to Broad Salt, a famous restaurant. You only need to walk for around 2 minutes from the nearest metro station.
So, what about lunch? Let us give you some ideas. When we talk about food in Sweden, the first thing that comes across your mind must be meatballs from IKEA. Swedish eat homemade meatballs since they were small. Meatballs are usually prepared by their grandparents. Mom's meatballs are a widespread concept in Sweden. No dish is more typically Swedish than Swedish meatballs. However, instead of introducing you IKEA food which you could find everywhere around the world, we're gonna introduce you a unique restaurant in Stockholm that serves the best meatball in town. The most traditional farm Swedish meatballs are made of ground pork and beef, cream, egg and onions, and are served with creamy mashed potatoes, brown gravy, lingonberry jam, and pickled cucumber. You can find the most traditional and flavor-packed meatballs imaginable in the restaurant Meatballs for People. It is the city's first meatball boutique, serves up to 14 different varieties of organic meatballs, ranging from moose, white boar, pig, salmon, reindeer, turkey, and vegetable. Other meatballs are handmade from organic, locally sourced produce. Why not sit down at a rustic wooden table and enjoy your meatballs? After enjoying other food that we introduced to you, are you ready for fika? Fika is one of the most cherished cultural assets in Sweden. Everyday Swedish spends time together with their friends and family to chat while enjoying their cup of coffee. Fika is simply the coffee break for everyone. People fika at home or at work. It is not about the coffee or cakes that they eat, but the attitude of them getting themselves relaxed in the middle of the day. Meals in Stockholm can be rushed, but if there is one food ritual that deserves the time, that is fika. This is the time for socializing and enjoying the company of people. Swedish coffee is large and very hot. Drinking it takes time. According to the International Coffee Organization, Sweden is one of the top 10 coffee-consuming countries. They drink roughly 9 to 10 kilograms of coffee per capita annually. Therefore, coffee shops have become a popular fika destination in Stockholm recent years. You can easily find cafes around the corners. Let me introduce you some of the famous ones. You couldn't miss out the award-winning Fitterkatten on Konstgatan. From Stockholm Central Station, you only need to walk for around 7 minutes to Fitterkatten. It is really close and easy to find. Fitterkatten is an iconic local fika spot that provides many traditional and delicious Swedish cakes and pastries. During the winter months of December through March, they also provide semla. Semla is an oval bun that filled with marzipan and whipped cream. People often eat buns, princess cake, and semla with a cup of coffee. Oh, so what is princess cake? Princess cake is often green in color. The recipe for princess cake first appeared in a cookbook written by a teacher of three of the daughters of Sweden's Prince Carl back in 1948, originally supposed to be called the green cake. It was then renamed it as the princess cake because the little princesses extremely loved the cake. If Fattigkatten is a bit too crowded and fancy for you, you should go check out Chocolate Koppen, which is an iconic cozy cafe with lovely food and cold and hot drinks in a unique building at the heart of Gamla Stan, the old town of Stockholm. It's only a few stations away from Centralen. It is a good place for you to chill with friends. In Stockholm, people never get too stressed. Pick a cafe and enjoy your fika. Other than normal meals, it is time for snacks. Do you know what locals usually buy in supermarket? The most common supermarket is Willys and Hemshop in Stockholm. See, you may find them everywhere. Let me introduce you some of the popular snacks that people usually buy. Swedish really loves fish, and here comes this toothpaste like caviar sauce. Swedish consume 2.6 kg of this caviar sauce every year. People usually add this in their bread, sandwich, and also crisp bread. Crisp bread is also a very common product that people usually buy. It's served alongside with your main meal. It was once considered poor man food. Crisp bread has been baked in Sweden for over 500 years. It can last for at least 1 year if stored properly. It contains zero fat and no sugar. It is also a very healthy food. After a bit of shopping, let's go dinner. One thing that Stockholm does quite well alongside traditional Swedish dishes, and that is seafood. The city's proximity to the Baltic Sea made them master the art of cooking seafood. In particular, this soup is one of the must-try items in Stockholm. Kassa's Fisk has the best fish soup in town. It is on the ground floor of a small market. See, large chunks of salmon and other white fish, delicate baby shrimps, crawfish, all in a thick tomato-based seafood broth. It is really mouth-watering. Other than world-famous fish soup, there are also other classic Swedish fish courses in this restaurant. Go date your friends out and try all their fish items. After introducing you all the architectures and food cultures in Stockholm, we hope that you have known more about this beautiful city. It is really an amazing place. Come with your beloved one and visit Stockholm one day. See you!